Hi there, I hope you're keeping well. I get asked a lot, what's the first thing someone that's just received a cancer diagnosis should do? And I'm just going to talk from my point of view, what I did, and my perspective when I was diagnosed with an aggressive cancer, a rare form, and the prognosis wasn't good at all. We had been going through investigations for about 3 months. It happened pretty quickly from being well in September. By December, I was bedridden, and we had done a lot between September and December. But it came to the point where they got the detailed biopsy results and they called me in immediately to discuss the results. Before then, the initial CT scan, they said, oh, it looks like it might be just 20% chance of medication working, chemo and all. And then they called me in to say, well, now we have the detailed result. It is a rare type. I've only ever seen this type once in my entire career. That was the oncologist, and I don't know what to do. I don't even think the 20% still stands. And I don't think we have a week. We need to start tomorrow, by the way, treatment immediately. As we're thinking of what treatment, there's the basic one we need to give you tomorrow. And also, I need to liaise with other hospitals, so it's not really looking good, I must be honest. At that point, I just thought, what is going on? And I said I was really weak and tired. I didn't have time to cry. A bit relieved that we knew what it was at least now, but also I had to let my faith come in at that point, because here he was saying he wasn't sure what to do. There was going to be damage to organs. It needs to be aggressive because of the type of cancer and the mass. It has spread to the liver and stage 3. All of that, I couldn't deal. I just said, okay, you know what? Do what you have to do. I'm a child of God. My God will heal me. And this is the first thing I'm going to say. When we are faced with this horrible disease, even the doctors don't know. Even when they treat, they're treating the symptoms. What is the root cause? So we need something above the physical. We need the spiritual. And this is why, as human beings, we're not on earth by accident. We need to have faith, some sort of faith. I'm not here to preach my religion, but I'm just talking about what I did and what I believe. I am a person of faith. I'm a Christian. And at this moment, that kicked in and it really helped. To start with, I blocked the glooming and very dark prognosis. I just said, do what you have to do. I didn't stop him. I didn't say, oh, I'm a Christian, I'm not going to have treatment. No. At that point, I didn't even have a choice. He had just said I was going to die if I didn't start the next day. So I said, do what you have to do. But I was going to back what he was doing with my faith. And the first thing we should go to when faced with this situation is go back to your faith. Because the doctors are just doing trial and error. They don't know if it's going to work. You need to have the right mindset as well for it to work. You need hope. And faith will give you hope. When I go home, I went into my room, took my Bible, and started reminding God of his promises to me. I often wonder, if I didn't have faith, what would I have done that moment when I got home? Cry myself to depression because it looks like I'm going to die anyway? No. I went back to what I know stands, which is God's promises for me. And he said, by his stripes, I am healed. So I went back to those words and a lot of others that promises me good health and that in time of trouble I should come to him. And I went. So we need faith. Whatever you choose to put your faith in, at that time you need somewhere you can go, pour out, cry out, get hope, and release yourself, the tension, the shock. You need somewhere to pour out to. And sometimes that's where faith comes in, because faith will give you hope, and hope will give you optimism that, yeah, things are going to get better. Not, oh, the doctor says it's gone to everywhere, so let's just wait for the doctor to give chemo. If chemo doesn't work, we die. No. You need to say, I don't care what the doctors are saying. I serve a God that is above everything and who can heal. And believe those words genuinely, it still works. Be optimistic. Pessimism is not good. When we are afraid, depressed, unhappy, it speaks to our immune system. So if our immune system would not respond to the treatment. So we need to have the right mindset, the right emotions, and have control of those. A few years before facing this situation, I think looking back, this prepared me for when I had to go through this journey. Somebody in our church had prostate cancer. We went to visit him in a mental health hospital because as soon as he heard he had cancer, his mind went and he ended up in a mental health hospital. Even though the treatment was working, his mental health was now a more serious issue. And when we went to visit him, he didn't even recognize us. He just looked across through us as if we were transparent. And he subsequently died. And that was a lesson for me. I learned that someone can die from the knowledge that they have a disease, not just the disease killing them. The disease didn't kill him yet. The treatment was working. But he died from knowing he had cancer. Once he heard the word cancer, he thought it was death sentence. His mind left him and he subsequently died. So that guarded my heart. I remember that I said, no, I mustn't be sad. I mustn't be despair. I mustn't be desperate, crying, depressed. No, I must relax, listen to comedy, listen to music that blesses me, pray when I can, laugh when I can, and sometimes there's pain, but laugh when I can, and also be optimistic. Think of things that will make me want to be here. I started thinking about my young children and said, Father Lord, I need to be here for my children. You didn't give me these children for me to leave them alone. They're too young. And that gave me a fighting spirit. So is it a spouse, children, your parents, your siblings, whatever it is, put that in front of you and say, for this, I need to be here. I need to beat this disease. Be optimistic. As you do that, your immune system will respond and start fighting that cancer. But when we are afraid because we had cancer, then the immune system is weakened. When we are depressed, the immune system is weakened and it doesn't respond to treatment. So they're treating, but the cancer is getting worse. That's because there's an underlying factor feeding this cancer. So we must take control of our fears and not be afraid. Have faith, be optimistic, have hope that this will work, and also have that fighting spirit. And I think this would help. And most importantly, more than the treatment, more than the nutrition, this is very, very key. Belong to a body, belong to a support group, people that can rally around you. Our community, we tend to hide when we're unwell, but in this situation, we do need help. We need support from people, and this is the time to get that support. Surround yourself with people you can trust. At least have a close-knit group of friends you can trust, you can talk to in time of trouble. My friends would come together every Friday night and have night vigil, pray, put my photo in front and pray. I wasn't there. They said, don't join, but just know that we're doing this and you're going to be okay. And that in itself, I just thought, wow, people want me to be well. I need to be well. And my children, I want to be here for my children. All of that would stimulate your immune system to respond to treatment. Don't be by yourself. Don't do this journey by yourself. Surround yourself with people that can support you. Church was a great support. To deliver dinner to the children was I'll be on admission, pick them up from activity. All of that helped. Took a lot of stress out. Don't be by yourself. Belong to a group that can support you. Somebody had cancer, knew for 2 years, and her husband only knew 3 months before she passed away. How difficult that would have been, but most importantly, the stress to conceal what was actually happening would actually cause the cancer cells to grow even faster, because that's stressful. Hiding it, who should know that energy should be used to do something positive. Stay in the today, look at your plan. What is the doctor saying? What am I doing today? Am I drinking enough? Am I checking my temperature? Am I making sure I'm not exposing myself to infection? All of that should be your focus. Not worrying about who knows, who cares. If people that are around you, you don't trust them, then they shouldn't be around you. And if they're around you, have a close knit of friends you trust, and in time of trouble, they should be able to support you as well. All of this helps in this battle. If God could turn my case around, He can turn anybody's case around, because my case was hopeless. The day my oncologist discharged me, he had tears in his eyes. He said, Angela, I see you are a person of faith from day one. You've challenged everything I said, but people like you actually make our job worth the while. If patients don't know, when we lose people, we go home and we are sad. And when I saw you initially, I didn't think you were going to make it. So you've really beat the odds. So I want to congratulate you. Go home and celebrate any way you know to celebrate. And also, I had a friend by my side who would come sit with me during chemotherapy, would sing praises. The nurses, some of them would join in the praises, would be singing. And all my photos, I had smile in my face. I could have just called and be sad and no. Enjoy every moment. It's an experience. When you look back after you beat the disease, you would know that it is one of the most important experience anyone can ever have, because that experience will change your outlook about life, about relationships, and about a lot more. So thanks for watching and look after yourself. God bless you.